Alright, sorry about the air conditioner noise. I'm going to show you guys how to change the rear brake pads on a Yamaha Warrior real quick. 4 bolts that are going to need your attention back here, so you want to spray them good with PB Blaster. Let them set for a few minutes to break that rust so you don't round off the head on one of these. So there's these two. On mine it's 12mm. These run through the pads and hold them in place. And then your 2 main mounting bolts here and here on mine are also 12mm. Make sure you spray the front and get the spray on the back. And on here, that's about the only place you can spray these. And I got these little metal tabs sticking up, so if yours are sticking up and keeping your socket from going on all the way, just get a little short flathead and tap on it with a hammer to push those down. Now I found it easier to go ahead and loosen these while it's still bolted up, and then I'll take the mounting bolts out. Then with the 2 mounting bolts out, carefully pull it away. You don't want to pull on your brake line too hard or bend any of this up. So then I'm going to finish removing these, and then I should be able to pull the pads out. With those 2 bolts removed, your pads will just fall right out. Now this is a hydraulic caliper, so just like on a car, you'll need to hook a C-clamp to it like this, and then slowly push that piston in until it's all the way back, and so you can make room for your new pads. So that's about as far in as mine would go. I even popped the cap off the reservoir and it still won't go any further, so hopefully that's as far as it's supposed to go, and we'll have new room for the new pads to still fit over the rotor. If not, we got a problem with the caliper. So I don't know if you can tell the comparison between the before and after, but I must be having some issues with mine because it stopped and didn't want to go any further, but then my pads wouldn't fit with enough space to fit over the rotor. So I had to put the C-clamp back on, and I had to twist down on it pretty hard to get it to go a couple more millimeters. And that's as far as I could get it to go right there. So hopefully that's enough to clear. Or this lever for the parking brake could be stopping it from going in all the way, because obviously when you set the parking brake it pulls the lever and it pushes the piston out. So you could try manipulating that lever to see if it'll let it go in further, or even temporarily disconnect it to do so as well. And there's your reservoir right there on the left hand side if you need to top off any fluid. Got some of that PB Blaster on my rotor, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that up with a rag and some brake parts cleaner. And then when installing the new pads, make sure you don't get any gunk on the friction surfaces there. So it's pretty simple to line those up, stick them in, hand start those bolts through there. Now they're held in place. You're going to have to open them up so there's a gap big enough to go around that rotor there. So you can see it's opening from the bottom. To get that top, you probably have to situate that, get it just started, and then take a flathead screwdriver and then slide the top on both sides, top and bottom, over to open it up all the way up through the top there. If you clean up these bolts before you reinstall them, it's going to help you a lot on getting that to slide up and down that rod in there to make room to clear the rotor. Okay, I got her slid over. So you might have to do the same with this back pad. If it tries to shift on you, you got to make sure you have the back one all the way back, top and bottom, and the same on the front. Like I said, my back one moved out on me and was closing the gap even though I got it down on here, so you just might have to mess with it a little bit to keep them open top and bottom so you can get it over the rotor. So now that I'm over the rotor, I gotta get my mounting bolts back in, tighten these back down. These don't go very tight. If you want a torque spec on those, I would say like 10 to 12 foot-pounds. They're very easy to remove, so don't tighten these down too much, just basically snug them up and that's it. And then that's actually what this little thing here is for, these little tabs. Once you got it snugged down, you bend them over the nut, and that'll keep that nut from backing out if you were worried about that. And then on these mounting bolts here, you can go a little tighter, like 20 to 25 foot-pounds if you want a torque spec. Alright, got her all bolted up, and that is it. That's how you change the brake pads on the rear on Yamaha Warrior. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more of the Warrior, make sure you check out the ATV and mini bike playlist on the channel. I got a really good detailed and clutch install video, some trail riding videos, including the Hatfield and the Coyus. So if you want to see more of the Warrior, make sure you check out the mini bike ATV playlist. Thanks for watching.